All right, today we are taking a look at Battles in the East Volume 4. I have only Volume 3 and Volume 4. You'll notice now that the box is blue. They've changed the look of it a little bit. This is from Decision Games by Anthony Burke. You'll notice him. You'll remember him from OCS games, from MMP. He's also a designer of some of those recent additions. And these are Battles on the East Front. There's 2 battles in each volume. And this one's going to focus on these 2 battles that you see here, and that's what we're looking at today. And this is one of Decision Games' newer releases. The components are excellent, and they really went out of the way to do a really good job on this game series. So I would highly recommend picking this up if you're into a medium complexity war game. And I'll just take in, we're going to take a look at the components and some of the rules and stuff like that today. So just so you can see right off the bat, they do give you baggies and things like that on the inside here. And full color rule book, so it's really nice. Let's just take a look. The system rules are not too egregious, full color. So some of you have seen these already. It's not bad. Sequence of play summary. You're looking at about 15 pages, which is not bad at all compared to some of the number crunching that you'll do in other systems. They're nicely laid out, you know. Everything's marked nicely here. They give you the unit overviews. Everything's very well done. Let me adjust my lighting here real quick. I'm going to zoom in here. They even give you images of what all the units look like. And in this game, you will see leader units. They come into play in this. Again, the rulebook's very nicely laid out. Much better than the current rulebook that I'm reading. I do like the layout much better than Old School Tactical, which this rulebook is kind of a jumble because I don't really like the way the Old School Tactical rulebook is laid out, but I'll go into that in a different video. It's kind of a mess. But anyway, this is the Italian 5.75 rulebook. Anyway, back to this one. All right, so just flipping through here just so you know what you're getting. It was over $100 with shipping. That's on a pre-order, so just a heads up. It is a tad bit expensive. All right, so you do get a rule book here, and they do a really good job with the components. Let's take a look at some of those. The counters are nice too because they're one of those, the counters are the type that you don't really have to punch out. They're like, they just kind of fall off the sprue, the pre-punch type counters, I'd like to call them. You're going to get some turn record tracks. And then we're going to get to this. Now, the problem I had with the other volume was the setup charts were kind of weird. They were a little bit hard to follow with, but anyway, we'll see. Each scenario is going to have its own set of rules that are nicely separate here. So if you're playing the Mias River scenario, you just take this out and take a look at it, and it's going to tell you how to set up. There's a setup chart, and you're going to follow that. There you go. And it's going to tell you where to put the units. I had a little bit of trouble following that. You can see my other video. I think it's volume 3. It's up on this site. And you can see I had a little bit of issue with it. I did the setup for the Soviets and the Germans on that. Here it is. You're going to get 2 copies of each one, I believe. Yep. Combat results. Pretty simple combat results table. Supply and terrain effects chart. You're going to get 2 of those. So again, they supply you with everything you need for 2 players. Now the counters are nice. They punch out really easily, so I'm not going to do it here, but they're nice big counters. You can see everything clearly. You know, if you're getting up there in age like I am, they're very clear counters. You can see your leaders. Simple but clear, easy to understand. I do wish they had some cool tank photos on there, but NATO is just fine. Don't mind that at all. We have some status counters. Game turn, love that look. Got some weather counters, things like that. And one thing that's neat is they are They do give you the counters by scenario, broken up by scenario, so that's kind of neat. Now, the best part of this is the maps. The maps are mounted, and the terrain key is on the map. I'll take these out for you here. All right, so the maps are mounted. They're double-sided, so when you're playing one scenario, of course, you'll play on one side, and you're going to flip it when you play the other side, and they'll have like winter graphics. It's pretty nice. Again, great quality maps, mounted. That's why the price is up there a little bit, but Decision Games really knocked this series out of the park. And then I'll flip this over and show you what the other side looks like. All right, and then here's the other side. Now these are kind of a north and south map, so you want to turn them sideways, but here you can see nice big hexes. All right, very nice looking maps. You can see right there. November of 43, so you're going to get the winter looking side on this one. And it's got that weird like ridged feel to it. Yeah, so very nice components here. Highly recommend. Map graphics are by Joe Youst. Guy does good work. All right. Objectives are on the map as stars. With the victory points listed. You can see that right there. So yeah, this is the kind of map and war game I like. You can see, yourself fighting over individual towns and things like that. So it makes a lot more sense. So I do like that. So that's a look at the components. And of course, back in the box here, which you've seen already. So yeah, just should be shipping to everyone that did pre-order it. And the other volumes are up on the Decision Games sites. They are a bit costly, but you can see that you get good stuff, good quality with this. So your typical unit here like this, when you see the red defense strength in a white box, it means there's an anti-tank combat support shift of 1 left. So it's kind of built into the unit. And you have your typical attack, defense, movement allowance. So you have very standard war game counters on here, which I like. So just simple attack, defense, move. I dig that. It's easy to remember. It's going back to your good old war game days. You have your unit ID here on the left and your formation thing on the right. And then your typical military stuff, like this is a regiment. So it's very simple to remember. So you have the 4th Regiment there. And when you flip it over, you'll see the white triangle here just means it's on its last step. So you have your reduced side right there. So this is a very typical war game type thing. No weird chits to put on top of it or anything like that. And then you can see how it fits into the hexes here. Everything fits into the hexes really nice. It's big. You can see what's going on. So yeah, I kind of like it. This is a good throwback type game to those good old games that when you were growing up, with a little bit more advanced rules. You do have supply. You have the line of supply, as you can see here. Line of supply you have to be free of enemy units and enemy ZOCs or ZOCs. And then they're going to go to an HQ, perhaps off the map, cities, other locations, and things like that. The scenarios will generally tell you where they are, and they might be marked on the map too. So there is supply and all that fun stuff. Your stacking is going to be regimental brigade equivalents. So you can see, for example, a Soviet infantry division, you can have 4.5 per hex. A Soviet infantry division counts as 2, in a hex. So basically, this is going to tell you how much they take up in 1 hex. You can't go over 4.5. I don't like that they use the 0.5. That's annoying, but hey, what are you going to do? So, if you have 2 infantry divisions, Soviet infantry divisions in a hex, that's going to be 4 right there. So just watch your stacking. This chart kind of sums it up for you. The brigade or regiments are 1 RE. So this would just be 1 RE in this hex here. Yep, there you go. Combat is fairly simple. You just do the typical ratio thing. If the attacker is armor, there would be a bonus for this German defender. If the Soviet had armor attacking, he would get that anti-armor shift. But this is a simple 2 against, 2-2, 1-1 odds. And you'll be rounding down in this game. You round down the ratio in favor of the defender to conform to the simplified odds found on the combat results table. And then you'll just be rolling simple stuff here. Let me zoom out a little bit. This would be a roll on a 1-to-1 table. Really easy stuff. And that's pretty much it, and then there's, rules for advance after combat. There's some overrun stuff and assault combat and things like that. So, as far as war games go, it's not exactly, rocket science to play this. That's probably going to be, you can see my rolling hasn't improved. So if you look here, it's going to be a 2/ attacker defender. The step loss and or retreat. The affected side must either lose steps and retreat all units and number of hexes equal to the result. So yeah, you can see I'm rolling as poorly as I always do. So yeah, you definitely don't want to roll that bad. So if I was attacking, if the Germans were attacking here, not good. So yeah, it's a fairly simple game. If you're interested, take a look at it. Decision Games site, and I'm sure they're going to be pumping out more volumes of these, hopefully. I like them. They're fairly easy to set up and get into, and it scratches that itch, especially if you're getting back in a war game. I would highly recommend it, despite the price. But take a look at it, and that's Battles in the East, and they're already on volume 4. And I try to buy them according to the battles that I'm interested in. So, all right, thanks for watching, everyone.